an indisputable exclusive. No other news agency has this. Medical abuse, neglect, Alabama prisons. Here's the video.
I don't know, I woke up like this. My lip look like my lips is yeah, my lip no swole, man. I can't get nobody to check up on it. And it's hurt. It hurt. Yeah. I don't know what else to do. They dislike me because I got this colostomy bag. And look at the bag. It coming off me. The bag coming off me, man. I need help, man.
You got a skin problem and it's causing great irritation, and you saying you ain't getting treated for it.
Yeah,
can I see your legs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And this stuff is so miserable that yes, it's a bad skin. It itches and miserable.
It itches very.
I know y'all see where I.
Can I see your other leg?
Yeah. You can tell.
Man. And they are not really just giving you no treatment. This can be treatable.
Yes, I've had this cleared up three times already.
I was sent to Veterans Correctional Facility in November 2022. I was stabbed in the face January 20th morning at 4:30 in the right eye. I lost my sight in my right eye.
There's actually more. Here it is.
And from my understanding, Steve, you had a real complex major surgery that required to have 8 pins placed in your the neck area on down.
Well, that's 11 screws.
11 screws. One of the pins came loose.
Right. One came loose, he said, in the T1 vertebrae. Really, a crippling numbness from the waist up all the way to my fingertips, shoulders, arms, neck. I think that because my surgery cost so much the first time that they're reluctant to have another surgery.
Can we see it if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Let me put my shirt on. C2 to T2.
And I know the cut is right by the neck.
Right.
Wow. So it can be clear and cured up, but you still having the issue now that you're incarcerated and you're trying to get the medical staff here at Eastern Correctional Facility to cure it up, right?
Right.
Okay, let us see what. Okay. Hold on. You got to keep it right here. Just turn your head well we can see. Okay, that's where the infection at. Okay. And you drip it on those spots where you having psoriasis. They see it. And you drip it on those spots where they have psoriasis, you saying it clears it up.
Yeah, almost instantly.
And if the DOC choose to provide that medication, then you won't have skin irritation.
Nope, not at all.
Alabama Department of Corrections. We have tangled with this organization before. We were able to successfully get individuals moved to proper medical facilities. When I investigated the stories then, I was told clearly there's a lot more. Today we have more documented evidence. Let's put up the picture full mask, right? Once again, Alabama, we've all heard the nightmare prison stories. But life behind bars within the Alabama Department of Corrections is so horrific. Even the US Department of Justice is taking legal action. Several inmates have tried to be a voice to the vulnerable, including Mr. Bernard Jemison, who recorded those shocking videos, giving us a glimpse into some of what inmates are facing. The incarcerated souls who are there still deserve to be taken care of based on the rule and the law. Thanks to a close friend of his, Jeanette Jones, we were able to receive this information. Alabama DOC facilities have allegedly been under scrutiny for a host of reasons, including medical neglect, inmate assaults by staff, uninhabitable living conditions, countless overdoses, suicides, violence, and unexplained deaths, with family not finding out right away or even giving truthful answers as to how the loved one died. That's coming from family members. However, Jemison has set aside his fear of retaliation to expose the harsh realities behind bars in hopes of positive change. He's been placed in and out of segregation numerous times for calling attention to neglect and even gone on hunger strikes as a way to combat the cruelty. He's currently held at Ventris Correctional Facility in Clayton, Alabama. It is ran by Warden Karen Williams. When we reached out to Warden Williams for comment of this matter, she hung up the phone on our producer. And Hunter is a remarkable person. In 2022, Bernard was at Easterling DOC and began recording the neglect and the misconduct that was taking place from April 2022 to September 26, 2022. Upon arriving at Ventris DOC, Bernard had no intentions of standing by and witnessing the medical neglect and abuse of his fellow inmates, his fellow cellmates. He continued to record those that weren't being treated medically as they should have and needed to be. And they were being assaulted. They were being assaulted by others, including those who are incarcerated and or staff with absolutely no recourse to the offender. Bernard began recording again April 2023, and through outside sources was able to share this information with social media. Let me give you the other instances of neglect. There was a case of major medical negligence that resulted in the death of a 64-year-old man known as DeMarcus Williams. According to fellow individuals inside, Williams had been to the infirmary twice, struggling to breathe. And the sweating was profuse. Each time, staff sent him back to a cell, as they quite often do. Bernard took Williams back to the infirmary for a third time. This time, he died. He died an hour and a half later. He went twice, nothing happened. They go back, now he's dead. This is where the disdain for Bernard began at Ventris facility. Since then, there's been countless inmates. There have been countless inmates with medical conditions that have gone completely untreated. You saw it documented right there. There is an older gentleman named Willie David Lee. Willie David Lee is actually wheelchair bound. He has no legs. He can no longer use his arms. He can no longer use his hands. He was recently denied compassionate release by the Board of Parole and Pardons. As I just said, he can't use any of his limbs. They stated that he is a menace to society still. The nurses refused to change his diapers. The nurses refused to clean him. Instead is, once again, fellow inmates. They help him and they have to feed him themselves. Let's put up the suit. With all of the alleged negligence and mistreatment mounting against them, it's no wonder that the United States Department of Justice is suing the entire Alabama DOC. We reached out to the DOJ, who said they had no comment on pending litigation. Their website, however, contains litigation documents dating back to 2019, including a report to Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, detailing an investigation done by the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Attorney's Office in where? Alabama. And I would say this, there is one US senator who has been leading a fight like no other to ensure the civil rights of those who are incarcerated are respected, and that is Senator John Ossoff. As a matter of fact, it was Senator Ossoff who led the investigation into multiple prisons throughout the United States. It is Senator Ossoff who had words directly against the individual in charge of the Prison Bureau. It is Senator Ossoff who provided those investigations directly to the DOJ. There's more. According to Ms. Jones, it's time for prison reform and the dire need for external prison oversight to ensure the safety of inmates and staff. Quality of care being given, ensuring there is accountability and reprimand of staff misconduct. Review of all cameras on a monthly basis by an oversight team and ensuring proper protocols are being followed. Inmates' lives matter too. This us and them dynamic associated with individuals who are temporarily incarcerated and the rest of the world has to stop. All right, these are human beings. These are human beings paying a debt to society. They have not lost their dignity, or at least they should not have their dignity snatched away. I know some will say, well, Doc, why do you care? These individuals are bad people and society has judged them to be criminals. Okay, that's your take? You think somehow they forfeited their humanity because they were incarcerated for maybe a drug offense, a car accident and they were drinking, vehicle homicide? You see, they're going to come back home. And the reality is they're no different than us. They're just in a different location, but they're still human. And according to the law and Constitution, they are supposed to be treated as such. My producer Hunter did a great job producing and getting the details of this story. We're going to continue to follow it because I'm sure there will be a response after today. Wosny, thoughts?
I think what folks got to understand is that we've created a society where it's not at all impossible for individuals to fall through the cracks. I think incarcerated people are folks, and I'm talking about even the worst of them, are folks who fell through the cracks, excuse me, and they're paying the ultimate price for that. And as you said, we don't get to treat these people as if they're no longer human beings because they've committed crimes. They're paying their debt to society. They're being held accountable. And that's their part, right? Like you did the crime, you do the time. But in the meantime, like as a people, I think we should be invested in the well-being of these folks because I think, especially around the world, America likes to sort of bandy about their record on human rights and civil rights and all of this kind of stuff. But how you treat these people, I think, is the ultimate judgment of our character as a country and a society. And the idea that these guys don't deserve basic medical benefits is absurd. Even the worst criminal deserves medical treatment. And yeah, man, this is sad. But and part of the sadness about it is these folks are voiceless. Yeah. They don't have a group of they're not well connected. They don't have a group of people who are looking out for their interests. And the average Joe has so many things to think about and worry about. The last thing they're gonna be worried about is how criminals get treated in the penal system. And so I'm happy you guys are doing this story and bringing light, and hopefully these guys can get the basic care that they need.
People got to be held accountable. You cannot call yourself an accountability facility while breaking all known accountability rules for yourself.